You are listening to the Mood Lifters Show presented by Reforged. What is going on, guys? Welcome to another special episode of the Mood Lifters. Today, I sit down with the original, very first mood lifter on my team, Chris, and we sat down and had a strategy call on the next steps of his fitness and mental health journey. If you guys have been following Chris's journey, he started with me back in November. Right before Thanksgiving, he was like, I need to make a lifestyle change. I'm not going to wait for the holidays. I'm going to get into it. And at first, you could tell on his journey there was a lot of negative thoughts, dealing with depression, dealing with anxiety, and so on. And I've watched Chris transform completely as a result of him pursuing exercise and pursuing constant growth. And today we're actually taking it to the next level. So in this call, I sit down with Chris, and as he's been talking about his exercise progress he's making, we sat down and talked about nutrition strategies he can implement, sleep strategies, and so on. Now, without further ado, I hope you enjoy this episode. Let's get into it.
What's up? What's up, everyone? I'm hearing some no. What's up, guys? Yeah, we're getting all pumped up and excited over here. Guys, today we're going to be doing a strategy call. Well, I'm going to be sitting down doing a strategy call with Chris. We're basically going to talk about, some of the things that Chris wants to focus on and some of the things that we can dial in on. And I'm basically just going to give my personal opinion or feedback towards him, and he can take it and make it his own, or he can follow it. And then if it doesn't work, he can kind of pivot and things like that. So Chris, I wanted to check and see how everything's going. I noticed that we're getting some workouts in. So I'm pretty pumped for you because I love to see that workout consistency that's coming through, and the progress you're making on the Filthy 50 is pretty awesome. So if you want, you could just tell us about like a little summarization of the Filthy 50. I know we've mentioned it before, but just tell me, how everything's going with that.
Yeah, awesome, dude. I appreciate you sitting down with me. So before the Filthy 50, I know we started working together back in like November, December-ish of last year. And during that time, like I was dealing with a lot. Like I had this spicy sadness going on, just a bunch of different things. And over the last 6-7 months, however long it's been, I feel like I've made a lot of headway in the mental department. To the point where I'm no longer on like antidepressants and stuff, and
Definitely,
and we're doing all that. And so I think that's been a major step forward, and just trying to get to where I want to be in the weight loss. And then I know the last couple of months I've been trying to like go to the gym regularly, like 2 to 3 days a week. Like it would be like lower body day, upper body day, and then kind of like a full body day, and then I was mixing in some hikes and stuff like that. And I noticed that when I was doing that, like it was good, like the workouts were good. And when I left the gym, I felt exhausted. I felt tired to the point where like the whole next day, I just didn't want to move, because I was just so worn out from the workout, the day before. And so then that kind of discouraged me a little bit. And I think, and then it was like, oh, well, I'll skip today because I'm tired. Well, I'm still tired today. We'll skip another day. And then ends up being, a whole week without going to the gym. Well, I think 3 weeks ago, our mutual friend Justice started the challenge, the Filthy 50, and it was every day you do 50 push-ups, 50 sit-ups, and 50 pull-ups. And so I was like, I really want to do this. I really want to get into this. So I started that. And then I also started really looking at where I wanted to be in 5 years, like where I really wanted to be in 10 years, what I wanted to do with my life. And I came across this nature documentary that was about these guys just hiking in Nepal mountains, right? And that's always been a dream of mine is to go hike in Nepal and just to see it. And they were like hanging out with the indigenous tribes and eating like the local foods and doing all this stuff. And they're like, hey, if you like what we're doing, check out like the time we went to the Amazon rainforest over here. Check out this time we went to, blah, 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 and did all this stuff. And I was like, man, that is exactly what I want to be doing. You know what I mean? 100%. And I thought, okay, well, I was like, if that's really what I want to be doing, we have to get serious about this. Let's really get into this. And so I signed up for the Filthy 50, knowing full well that I can't do a pull-up and I can't do a push-up, right? I weigh 300, or at least when I started, I haven't weighed myself since yet. I weighed, 356 pounds. I did all the before photos and everything. And I was like, so let's just do it. And so the first week, like I said, I couldn't do any pull-ups, so I YouTubed how to do like go from 0 to like your first 10 pull-ups, right? In like 60 days. And I did the same thing for push-ups. And so the guy was like, all right, well, you start off by just grabbing a wall and then just doing like, wall pull-ups like that, just kind of get the muscles going and get everything the way it should be. And then you can position to this, and then this, then this, and then this, and finally get to your pull-up. Same thing with push-ups. So the first week, I did, my sit-ups were basically me laying on the ground and then throwing my hands in front of me just to, do a sit-up, and then back down and throw my hands back up. And I did those for my sit-ups. And then for my push-ups, I went to my kitchen sink counter. I leaned my hand against them, stood back, spread my feet out wide. And then I just did, 12 push-ups. And then for the pull-ups, I went outside to my fence. I grabbed like my fence post and I did, my wall pull-ups. And I had to break it down to say 2 sets of 13, 2 sets of 12. So I did 13, 13, 12, 12 throughout the entire day. And then that got me my 50. And during that the first few days, especially, like it was rough. Like I was doing like 6 and I was like, woo, all right, let's take a break for a second, and then I was like, all right, now let's do my other 6. And that's how it was for, the first few days anyway. And then by the end of the first week, I was able to just do the full 13, the full 12. And I was like, okay, I feel like it kind of sucked a little bit, but I got through it. It felt fine. I was still a little winded. And then week 2, I was like, okay, well, let's up it a little bit, right? Because clearly I'm able to do this, straight through as far as like 12 or 13 reps. So let's make it a little harder. So I went to my gym, and the sit-ups, I put my feet underneath like a treadmill, because that's the only, like they don't have like a sit-up bar. So I put my feet underneath the treadmill. I grabbed a mat, and the mat made 100% difference from trying to do it on the bare floor. And then I still kind of just threw my hands up to get through my sit-ups. But I was able to do, my full 13 reps. For my push-ups, I found those giant foam blocks that you jump on. People do those high jumps, and I stacked a couple up there. So it was still lower than my kitchen sink, but maybe by, 6, 7, 8 inches or so. So I still leaning a good bit lower. And I did my push-ups. And then for pull-ups, I grabbed the rings that they have like attached to like this metal bar. And I put them at eye level or head level. And then I'd lean back and I'd do like my ring pull-ups. And when I first started on Tuesdays, I would do Tuesday to Monday. It's like my week. And it was like on Tuesday, I was still doing like just the 6 reps, the 7 reps at a time. I was really winded. It took me, but I was doing all 50 at once, right? So I'm making sure I was doing 6, then 6 like on my pull-ups, then like 6 and 6 on my push-ups, 6 and 6 on my sit-ups, and I was doing the whole thing like that. And so that day 1 took me an hour and 15 minutes to go through the whole thing. But by the end of the week, I was able to go through it, and I was able to just do, okay, we just knocked out 12, we just knocked out 13. And I got through the whole 50 of each, so the whole 50 50 50 in 23 minutes. So I thought, okay, well, now it's time to make it a little harder. And I just want to emphasize this a little bit. When at the beginning of each week, week 1 and week 2, I tried to do a pull-up and I tried to do an actual push-up, and I couldn't do them. So I tried to do like knee push-ups, and it just wasn't working for me. So Tuesday of this past week was like day 1 of week 3. And so I put the rings for the pull-ups down to about where my belly button is, so much lower. And then now I'm leaning like way, way back, and I'm doing my pull-ups, and I'm knocking those out, in sets of 6 or 7 at a time. And my push-ups, I went straight to my knees, and I'm doing knee push-ups, and I'm still 6 or 7 reps. And then sit-ups, instead of throwing like my arms out, I'm like, okay, well, we need to at least be touching the side of my head the whole time, as I'm doing this. And then my next step would be maybe go to the chest, and yesterday, Tuesday and Wednesday, I did that. And it took me about 30 minutes or so, like maybe 35 minutes to go through the whole thing, because I was still taking, breaths and like rests in between. But I always notice that if this trend picks up, today, with today being Thursday, it's still going to suck. But like by Saturday, I'll start really just getting the full 13 in and like one go. And then by Monday, it'll be, all right, we're brushing through it, right? If the trend keeps up. So I did a little bit of an experiment the last couple of days just to see, because I was like, I want to see how this is going to affect me. So Tuesday, I didn't really eat a whole lot for breakfast. Really didn't eat anything. I had my coffees and whatnot. I went and I got a foot-long turkey Subway sandwich for lunch. I ate that. 30 minutes later, I went to the gym and I took my pre-workout and I did through the whole workout, and I felt good, right? It sucked. It was hard, but it like I was able to get through it, and I was kind of motivated the whole time. Yesterday, I did the exact same thing, except for instead of eating like a turkey sub, I ate like a Big Mac from Burger King and fries. Waited 30 minutes, and I went and did the exact same workout. And I was like, the pre-workout really didn't kick in. I was everything I could do, from like throwing up just from like the acid and stuff from the burger and whatnot. And I was like, okay, yep, that's like 100% clear sign that this isn't doing it for me. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm at with that. Ideally, by the end of the Filthy 50 challenge, into the 50 days, I'm going to be on full actual push-ups, and I'm going to at least be able to do a pull-up. It's kind of like my goal. And yeah, that's where I am. So I realized, like, if we're going to do this, if we want to follow the dream and do what it is we want to do, then we need to change some stuff. And what I like about the Filthy 50 challenge is that I'm able to do it every single day, right? Like, I'm tired. Like I've been working out now every day for 3 weeks, or 2.5 weeks, and I'm tired, right? Like, I don't want to go to the gym today, but I know once I go, I'm going to feel better, and I know that I'm able to still go. And that's kind of what I like about it is I'm able to do like my 50, and then I go on like a half-mile walk with the dogs, and I'm able to do that. By the end of it, I'm drained. But the next day, I feel like I have just a little bit more energy. You know what I mean? And it's just kind of compounding itself.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Dude, it makes perfect sense. I was sitting down and taking a lot of notes, because the realizations, like everything that we're talking about, like, the micro steps, taking those small steps every day, that's there. What we talk about, with the Filthy 50 as well, it's like, make micro adjustments, and that's still progress. Like, you started from the countertop and you're bringing it down. That's progress. You're getting stronger, right? Yeah. And I think that's a lot of people think about, like, where they're going to be at years from now, right? They want to be this buff, like, jacked guy, ripped guy, whatever their goals are. And like, we don't really focus on the little things like that. Those are the things that matter the most, because you're constantly making that progress, and you're like, oh, I could do this. Let me try this out and see how it feels. Oh, this doesn't feel too bad. I'm going to keep challenging myself. Eventually, you'll be able to do those the Filthy 50, going back into it with the pull-ups, with the sit-ups, with the push-ups, as long as you keep pushing forward. And the fact that you even said that you're looking at it, you're witnessing that trend of the progress you're making, you're going to be significantly stronger than where you started. And that's huge. And you also touched up on a point that I actually took a lot of notes on, is the whole entire workout every day aspect. You have 3 exercises that you need to do every single day. It's a simple workout. It basically a foundation workout that will make you get stronger regardless, right? Yeah. And it's manageable, right? Even though it's intense, you were able to split it throughout the entire day, and it may have taken quite some time at the beginning, but now the time is getting condensed, right? You could probably get it done a lot quicker than when you first started. And that is so important to like understand and reiterate to everybody. It's like, split your workouts. Find something that's simple and manageable, and just do it every single day until it's consistently ingrained in your brain that when you're going to go, like, let's say, for example, you feel like you're missing something because you haven't been able to work out because you're so busy, and you're getting this gut feeling, this urge to go work out. That's a good sign that your body's like, it's in condition in your body, and you're working towards that. And eventually you're going to feel that too. You're going to be like, man, I'm feeling down, Filthy 50, even if you get past the program itself. I'm gonna pull out the Filthy 50 right now and just get shit done, So I love it, man. I love it, because you're moving in a great direction, especially like you got the mindset down, you're getting the workouts consistency down, and then we're working on the nutrition as well. And eventually you're going to get the whole entire thing with the exercise, nutrition, sleep, mindset, and it's gonna you're gonna win, bro. You're gonna win.
Dude, I appreciate it. Yeah, I think that's honestly a big part, because it was like the first week, like I said, it was just doing like the 12, 13 reps throughout the entire day. And that was it, right? I wasn't adding anything special onto it. Then it was like week 2, I added on, all right, let's do this half-mile walk, So I added that on at the back end of the exercise. And then it's like week 3, I'm walking like a little bit farther, but like not much, maybe a couple 100 yards more. But I'm just slowly trying to add, a little bit more onto it. I think that's making a big difference. And I also think what's helped me is before I would go, when I went to walk the dogs, I would walk them around the neighborhood and I just didn't enjoy it, right? Like, it's the neighborhood, there's power lines everywhere, it just wasn't nice. Like, walking in people's yards and stuff, like trying to clean up the dog poop. So what I started doing is I would go home, I'd pick my dogs up, and I decided to just take them like to the local community like park area, and where it's beautiful, it's scenery. I'm seeing sea turtles on my walks around like the lagoon, and I'm just walking them there because it's much more enjoyable for me, and that's worth the extra 5-minute one way, 5-minute back car ride, to get the dogs to go do that.
Very cool, dude.
Yeah, and plus, like, I'm taking that time and I'm listening to like an audio book that I want to listen to. So it's just a little bit of like me time. I'm getting like getting like a chapter in a day. It's nice.
I love that. It's, you're also including that Tribe 5 basically. You're getting it all done, dude. I love it. This is it. Get the groove of it, and you can slowly change things and add things to it. You basically find your routine and you just make it yours, Yeah. So I'm super pumped for you, bro.
I appreciate it, man. I think that what I'm struggling with the most is the dieting, is the nutrition side of things. So like a few weeks ago, I went out and I was like, okay, I looked out like 10 different recipes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I was like, let's go buy all this food, because I pretty much made a grocery list of everything I need for like all like 30 meals. And I went and I spent like $300-400 on all this grocery stuff. And that was cool and all. I did that for, I don't know, like 3 or 4 days. And then I started to fall off. And there was like a meal here, then a meal there. And then it was right back in the old routine. All that food went to waste, because it's fresh fruit and it rotted and whatnot. So now I'm thinking I'm just going to try and buy food for like 2 or 3 days, 2 or 3 days out. I kind of plan that. But that's where I'm struggling the most. It's just in the nutrition side of things, because even after doing the Filthy 50, I'm tired. You know what I mean? Like right now, I'm still tired from yesterday's, workout, and I just don't feel like cooking, right? But I also understand that if I just keep ordering pizza and eating all the fast food and all the junk, I'm not going to make it my dream. I'm not going to lose weight. I'm going to have a heart attack when I'm 38. It's not going to be good. So as a guy, I need to make a change. I'm just trying to figure out what would be the easiest way to do that and still achieve my goals. Because like my first thought was a meal service, right? Well, meal services don't deliver to Hawaii, because it's Hawaii. So I was like, okay, well, I can't really do that until I get back to the mainland in like October. So what do I do for the next 3 months,
For sure. I'm going to look around and see if there's a meal service based in Hawaii, and I'll do my research. Have you tried it already, or?
I think there is, if I'm not mistaken, but I haven't looked a whole lot into it. From being honest, I did think I found one eventually.
Okay, I'm gonna look into it and I'm gonna see, but it's all dependent on your budget, right? Like I'll give you an example, because I've been testing out this meal prep service. I'll look into it and see if they ship out over there. But
okay,
from what I've been doing is I've been calculating my budget, right? And I noticed that I buy a lot of, going out to eat, Chipotle, Waba Grill. There's a bunch of grill places around here. With inflation and stuff, it's pretty expensive. In addition to that, I'm getting a good amount of food in, but I'm not getting enough protein in, right? It's like 30-40 grams. And it's because like I'm constantly moving, right? Constantly moving, it's busy for both of us. Like we're doing our thing, It's hard for me. And I resonate with you a lot on this. It's like hard for me to sit down and prep something when you are running around and you have no energy to do something. You went through an intense workout session. You're just tired. You basically exhausted yourself throughout the entire day, right? It's quite easy to just order something right away and get it done and over with. But is it the most nutritious thing, right? What I look at it as is I look at the budget of myself. I'll be honest with you, I spend about $400 a month on just takeout, right? So what I did was I calculated it based on this meal plan service. And I can get on this meal plan service just under $400 a month. And I have them shipped every 2 weeks. And what they basically does is gives me about like almost 20 meals. And that's about, 1 to 2 meals a day, right? The rest of the meals that I have are usually things that like dinner time. I have, family in my household, so sometimes they'll prep something and stuff like that. And I could eat healthy in that meal. Or I can just, oatmeal, throw some protein powder in it, mix it up. I'm good to go type of thing. The best option for you is the meal prep service. Another thing I would consider is I would still get, some fresh food, just a little bit of fresh food. But if you have to, if you go into the frozen food section, there's a lot of like fit meals, right? And if you look under those fit meals, there's a ton of sodium in it. I get it. What you can do is with the sodium is you're going to sweat it out if you work out and stuff. And in addition to that, like if you consume some sort of like potassium, like fruits, bananas and things like that, you should be fine with the sodium intake. And then especially with your working out, you're sweating it all out and stuff. I would consider looking into those and checking to see if it's well within your budget range if you bought a couple of those and try it out. Because I know there's high protein alternatives. And then they're also like, sometimes they're low carb, sometimes they're ketogenic style and things like that. I would just look and see if they have those at your supermarket.
Do you know like what name brand they are or anything?
Oh
like
man,
off top of your head, put Tony on the spot, you guys.
Yeah. I know. My mom buys a couple of them. You're probably gonna know this one. It's like a Jenny Craig fit something. It's
yeah. I mean,
it'll be fit meals like that. Hopefully, Hungry Man. Hopefully they have like the high protein alternatives because some of the Hungry Man stuff is like a bunch of junk. There's like a healthier version that they have. If you go under the frozen food section, I think it should be like by the frozen fruits and vegetables. And if you go through that section, you'll see a lot of microwavable meals. If you don't like to do the microwave stuff, you could just put it on a pan, heat it up, things like that. So
I'll give it a shot. I'm going to go to the grocery store, I think today or tomorrow anyway, just to get some stuff for the animals and whatnot. But cool. I'll check it out and see what I can find. And I'll just take a bunch of photos and be like, Tony,
feel free. What
am I allowed to eat?
Feel free to send messages to me throughout the day. I'm constantly on my phone until like 8 o'clock my time. Yeah, you send it to me. I'll look at it. I'll try to get back to you as quick as possible. Also, take the front and the back of it.
Yeah,
the back of it with the nutrition facts labels. I can kind of help you define like certain things and see what will work best for you. Sometimes if the meals are not enough, I would add a little bit to it. If you're looking for like a quick thing, let's say you have this protein and veggie bowl that you buy, right? And you feel like it's not enough food, you can buy like that microwavable rice, and then pour it in there too. It's like a quick, easy rice or whatever. Add things, make it your own, make your own concoctions of stuff.
Dude, I love eating rice. Rice is the best.
Yeah, dude, I loaded up in my household. What I'm explaining to you right now is literally what I had to do in college. When I was going to college, like, everyone's like on the ramen diet. Like they're just all they're eating is like ramen. It's easy to make. For me, I was like, all right, I don't got time to cook and shit like that. I got to get my stuff done. That's the last thing on my mind. Get the frozen food, microwave it, get it good to go. Walking around eating it. But that's probably the most efficient way other than the meal prep service. In terms of quality, the meal prep service that I'm using right now, I've been pretty impressed with already with some of the meals I've had. I'll be the judge of that later on. I'll give you guys updates in the group. And then I also got off a call with my buddy Justin, who owns this company called Hardcore Performance. That's one of the live calls we did yesterday.
Okay.
And he has a meal prep service as well. I'll hit him up in regards to that and see if he ships to Hawaii as well.
Okay.
So
yeah, I would love that. Like I'm just looking here online. When I just typed in meal service or Hawaiian meal service, an ad popped up. It said 10 best prepared meal service choice in Eva Beach. Eva Beach is where I live. And but I know some of these for sure don't ship to me. Like I don't think HelloFresh ships to me. Freshly doesn't ship to me because I've tried going through Freshly before. There's just a couple things. So if we're able to find something awesome, amazing, I would love to give it a shot because I don't mind spending the whole $400 or $500 on it if it gives me like 2 meals a day kind of thing.
Yeah, I feel you.
So are you spending $400 every 2 weeks or are you spending like $400 a month?
For the entire month? So
okay,
it's like I think it's like 189 190 something like that, so it's just under 400. And I'm getting I basically set it up for every 2 weeks. The default option is every week. And I was like, nah, I'm not that's gonna be way too much food for me. I'm gonna have leftovers. So I was like, every 2 weeks is fine. Sometimes my family's like, oh, surprise, we cooked you a steak. Oh, surprise, we got you some chicken, things like that. So that's my circumstances. Everyone's circumstances are different. You might find that you might need more meals throughout the day. If you're looking for like the ready to eat meals, I will say this as well, Chris. Like if you want quick meals as well, not just the frozen ones, you can grab a bowl of oatmeal, right? If you throw in whey protein powder, it could be chocolate, vanilla, throw some berries in it. Frozen berries, you can grab some blueberries, strawberries at the grocery store as well. And then if you heat it up, that's an easy meal. You got a lot of protein in it. You got the carbohydrates in it. If you want to add some like nuts, almonds, walnuts, peanuts, or anything like that, you'll get some extra healthy fats in it as well. And you could just throw it all in there, mix it up. It's a good tasting meal. It's easy, That's another example that I think of. I usually eat that in the evenings.
I'd be down for that. I think another thing that I need to focus on is my sleep quality. And it's like the mattress I have right now is a very soft mattress. And I think that's my issue because, I'm a big guy. I think I need like a little bit more of a harder mattress. But it's just, I just don't feel like I'm getting a good sleep on it,
The mattress thing is tricky because I'm dealing with that too.
Right. It's like when I sleep, it's just, I don't know, I kind of sink in. I'm like a belly sleeper, so I like sleeping on my stomach. Versus like my back, and then I don't feel like I'm getting good quality sleep. Some nights I get great sleep, other nights or most nights I feel like it's like nah. And so I'm trying to also balance that, but of course there's nothing I feel like I can really do about that. Right now until I can get back to Ohio and I'll just get a new mattress.
I'm just trying to think because like the way I sleep on my side. What's always helped me is like putting a pillow in between my legs, having and holding the pillow like this on my side, and I can sleep peacefully, easily. Now with belly sleeping, I haven't experienced that, but I'll also look into that in terms of sleep quality. For the time being, we could probably figure something out that may help. There's probably some like science behind it, of how you could sleep effectively, probably on YouTube. Like somebody's like, I got a solution for you. For the time being, once you move out and then you could get a high quality mattress. I definitely am overdue for a high quality mattress. I've had mine for a long time, and it's kind of the point where it's just like, it is what it is. But there's some days where you wake up and you're like, oh shit, I feel like crap.
Right. Well, see, I feel like I would love to sleep on my side. Like side sleeping is where it's at. But for me, it's like when I sleep my side, I end up like sleeping like this, and I end up jacking my shoulder up, and then the whole next day I'm just like, my shoulder. That's my issue.
I was just thinking about this because today I actually found this meme. I think it was on TikTok, and I found this meme. It's like, it's not even a meme. I mean, somebody created a side sleeping mattress, and there's like a hole in between where you can kind of put your hand.
Oh yeah, where you can. Yeah, I've seen those.
So like, I was sharing that, and I was like, I should get one of these. So it's funny that we're talking about mattresses right now. That was like, I was gonna actually tell you if you're like, oh, I sleep on my side. I'm like, oh great, I got a solution for you after you get out of Hawaii. There's a solution, but. Yeah, I'll definitely look into that because that's very important as well. I think that's also a great topic of discussion in terms of sleep quality because everyone sleeps differently. And while I could tell you, oh yeah, get your 6 to 8 hours of sleep. Make sure you're not using technology before bed with the blue light hitting your eyes, things like that. It's also what's important is the type of sleeping that you do, and you need to optimize that as well. So it's very interesting thing to think about.
Yeah, like I said, I know that my goal in life, and I think this is going to transfer over to like business and everything, is like I don't know, man. Like I when I was dealing like a lot with my depression and stuff, a lot of it, I think, I don't want to say a lot of it, but a lot of my mental attitude and the things I did was more or less how other people are going to perceive me. Man, what would my family think? Well, what is this going to think? What is that going to think? And I think that prevented me from doing a lot of things like going to the gym. And then it wasn't until I really like sat down and I looked at like, the Nepal thing where I saw the Nepal documentary, and I was like, you know what? Like my entire life, like I feel like I've always been drawn to this, like to the Animal Planet, the Earth documentaries. Like it's, and I was like, this is what I want to do. And in the future here in the next few months, I really want to start like my hiking and outdoor brand. And I realized, I was like, do I want to be like a millionaire and sell my company one day for millions of dollars? Yeah, who wouldn't, right? Like who doesn't want to be like, yeah, I have $30 million in the bank. Sure, you know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, I was like, do I want to have sorry, I'm backpedaling here for a second. One of my guilty pleasures is I like looking up multi-million-dollar homes on Zillow and YouTube. You know,
I
when
do
they're
that
like, yeah, you know, when they're like watching those YouTube videos, when they're like, this house is only $30 million and it has a creek that runs through the middle of it, and I'm like, only one creek. Oh, you know.
Oh, not for me. No,
Not for me. Oh, those. You know, it's only got 7 bedrooms. Oh,
that's funny.
and that's like my guilty pleasure. I just enjoy doing it for fun. And I was like, you know, and I was thinking, I was like, do I want to live in a house like this one day? Yeah, sure. Obviously, like who doesn't? There's like these videos get millions of views. Clearly, I'm not alone here with this, but I was like, what do I really want? I was like, if I don't make the money, if I don't, you know, live in my multi-million-dollar home, will I still be happy? You know, and I was like, yeah, you know, like my definition of success is, you know, waking up and doing what I love doing, you know, be damned what everyone else thinks kind of thing.
Yes.
And I was like, and that's going this hiking, you know, exploring the earth, you know, route. And I was like, you know, and if other people get on board and the business takes off because of it, that's amazing. If they don't, at least I had a good time. You know what I mean? At least, you know, I'm fine. Like I'll be good. And I was like, if I really want to do this, like I really need to do this, right? I really need to like get toward it. And I was like, you can't do it fat. You know what I mean? Like you just can't, you know, yeah, if I'm going to be a nature survival guy and be like, I'm going to survive for 30 days in the wilderness based on whatever I can hunt in my fat stores, then yeah, I'm in the perfect position, you know, but that's not it. Like if I want to hike the Arctic Circle and if I want to go, you know, to Mount Everest and do all these other cool things, I got to be in shape to do it. So that's where I am. And then every time I go to the gym and I'm doing my filthy 50 and I get to like set 3, I've already knocked out 25 reps, you know, and I'm struggling. I'm ready to set 3. Dude, I just think of that. I think of like Nepal. I think about the Amazon rainforest and how I want to hike them, and you know, in the videos I've seen, and it pushes me through. And I think I just need to take that same energy and put it over toward the dieting. You know,
everything you said, I'm just getting chills, and I'm just sitting there like, yes, like
yeah,
because like the whole thing, like everything that you basically said is basically what I experienced when working on this brand. What you basically told me is like your experiences in your life in the past, you were bogged down by other people's negative thoughts or their perceptions of certain things that you wanted to do, you know, just lifestyle and things like that. And you basically told me like what intrigues you about nature is that freedom aspect of it, where you're free to do whatever the hell you want, right? And just explore the world and stuff like that. And that like chef's kiss, like that's everything right there. That is everything. And the fact that like you made all this progress since like the end of November, and like it's all mindset now, and you kind of see this and you kind of visualize this, you perfectly like described everything that I tried to articulate the best I possibly can, but the way you've described it right now is like the best thing. And I'm probably going to clip that shit 500 times. Like there's gonna be multiple clips of this, but like everything you said is just like, it's that where you'll be down to your last reps and you're destroyed. And like, I will think about you and Grant pushing through, and I'm just like, I got to get the reps in for them. I got to get because they're doing it. I got to get the reps in for them. So like, it's stuff like that. And then especially, you know, once this brand grows more, it's going to be like, hopefully 500 people. And I'm like, I know the names of majority of them. And I'm just like, I got to get one more rep for this guy. I got to get one more rep for Kevin. I got to get one more rep for Josh. Like, you know, just like pushing through. If we even in this group do that as well, we're going to crush it, bro. We're going to crush it in every aspect of our lives. And I love this, dude.
Absolutely. If Kevin can do it, we can do it.
Hell yeah. Kevin.
We love you, Kevin.
Before you even come in here, Kevin, we're talking about you. No. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about in nutrition specifically, or is there something else that comes to mind?
No, I mean, like I'm kind of looking at it like what we talked about before, again, with the whole baby step nutrition. Like I'm trying to fully cut out soda. I'm trying to fully cut out a lot of the stuff like that. I don't really drink, so it's no big cutouts there. But the as far as like calorie count and whatnot, I'm trying to just eat until I'm full and not stuffed, and trying to eat the healthier things. And then I feel like we can get into calorie counting later. But right now it's I'm just trying to I mean, that's where I'm struggling,
Mhm.
It's because at the end of the day, I'm tired. It's 7 or 8 o'clock. I haven't eaten anything, for dinner. And it's just like, man, like it's so easy just to order Domino's and
Yeah,
have it
yeah, I feel
delivered.
you.
And I can sit here and watch my show and unwind for the day, you know.
I
That-
resonate with that a lot, bro.
Yeah, that's where I am at the moment.
So I will say this too. I love that the fact that you're saying like you're gonna eat till you're like near not full, but like close to getting full.
Yeah.
And usually some of the methodology I've learned is like eat until you're 80% full. And that's like, you're 20% away from being just stuffed, right? And that's a good ballpark. Now, when it comes to more foods like pizza, for example, it's going to take you a longer time to be full from pizza than it would be from more whole foods, right? So
Mhm.
like if we needed to do an 80-20 of that, where you're gonna most of the time you're gonna go for the whole foods, but if you do have like an occasional pizza and stuff, try to like split it up throughout the week. And in addition to that, when you're eating the pizza, you're with your fullness cues, when you're eating foods in general, the fullness cues take a little bit of a time for your body to catch up to what you're doing, what activity you're doing. So if you're going to eat a pizza, for example, what I would recommend, this is something that I would recommend to most people, is like chew the pizza as slow as possible. Be like a freaking sloth when you're eating food, right? Where you're sitting there, you take a bite, you put it down, wait for a little bit, take a bite, put it down. That may help with the fullness cues, or that may help you be like, you're analyzing it and you're like, oh, I probably just needed 1 or 2 slices compared to the entire pie, and I can hold it for later, or I can share it with people. Hey, neighbor, you want some pizza? Things like that. So you'll figure out, your process. You'll probably take some of what I told you, and then you could make it your own. And then if you do find things that work really well for you, please don't hesitate to share it. I mean, even in the mood lifter calls and Facebook group, things like that, I'm pretty sure a lot of people can find something that, we're talking about, oh, try this out and see if it works. And then all of a sudden it's like a light bulb moment for them. And they're like, I didn't do this, but I did a variation of that, and that benefited me the most. And it's very interesting process, just trying to figure that out.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it, man.
Of course. Anything else you want to cover?
No, the only other question I had is, between me and Grant, who's your favorite?
Oh shit.
This is live on Facebook.
Oh man, you know what?
Grant's gonna see this, just so you're aware.
Grant, I'm gonna tell you this right now, Grant. Chris committed to the strategy call session right away, so he's my favorite right now. But who knows? Who knows? Things could change. Dude, he's gonna see this like in the evening. He's gonna unwind and see this in the evening. He's like, you mother.
I'm going straight to the messenger to tell him.
You're like, Grant, watch that last 5 minutes of this video. You're not gonna believe.
You're not gonna believe what's on there. I love you, Grant.
We got love for you, Grant. Experience all throughout elementary, middle, high school. I got love for you, Grant. Like right now, Chris is winning.
until Grant hops on a call, then he's the favorite.
If Grant starts doing some stuff, Chris, I'll be like, hey, Grant.
We're just competing for dad's love here.
All right. Well,
I appreciate it, Tony.
Yeah, you got it. Great call. If you need anything else, don't hesitate to comment in the group or just message me directly. If you want to definitely do some of these again, a week from now or 2 weeks from now, whatever, just let me know and I'll send you the invite and we'll set things up.
Awesome. I'll see you guys on Sunday then for the movie call.
We'll see you guys on Sunday. Thank you for watching. If you're watching it live, and if you have any questions or need help with your strategy call sessions, if you want to sit down with me, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I would love to help.
All right. Awesome. Take care, guys.
All right. Take care, guys. Thank you.
I want to thank you guys for watching and listening to this episode with Chris. What I plan on doing is having a lot more strategy sessions with people on their fitness and mental health journey. So if this interests you, please don't hesitate to join our Facebook group, The Mood Lifters. You can get there at facebook.com/groups/moodlifters. And whenever we open up opportunities for strategy call sessions, be the first to do it, because I would love to sit down and help you out on your journey. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I try to get these in at least once a week going forward. So with that, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening, and we will see you in the next one.